So, it looks like I broke my promise, and in the previous video, I went over instead of doing this. What is it? I had said 6 minutes, like maybe between 6 to 10. It came out to a total of 14 minutes. Sorry about that. But at the same time, it's like I had, I don't think it's useful for me to do these videos and not just and not really start to explain the concepts well enough. All right, but let's just dive right into this one. So in this episode, we are going to be looking at, well, first of all, shout outs. We're looking at, I want to give a shout out to Code for Philly and the Flask project, as I just mentioned in the previous video. Code for Philly is a nonprofit which is affiliated with Code for America. Software engineers, UX, UI designers around the country, project managers, etc. We get together and we help solve the country's problems. And my buddy Tony Kent Cheze with Magic 100 FM. Tune in. It's Magic 100. For those of you that are in Kampala, Uganda, well, in Uganda, I believe I think it's just mostly Kampala where it's active. Just tune in and enjoy his show, and everybody else can Google it. When you Google, there's sites out there that where you can listen to radio stations from all over the world. All right, so that's it for the dedication. So episode 3 is the title of this one is grit. Well, first of all, there was already a series I began titled Grit, Creativity, and Learning. Okay, and the first episode I did was about learning language using music. Okay, so that was that episode. Now in this episode, I just want to, and this honestly, I really am gonna strive to, you know, make this video really brief because just its nature, calls for that, right? So, in terms of this whole series, the Long Live People series, and you can learn anything, right? That's the title of the series, okay? The Long Live People, and you can learn anything. You know what? We have to look at. Okay, so well, if what I'm saying is true, if my argument is true, then how do we make that happen? All right, how can I learn anything? Well, what I'm using is what I've come up with is a framework of 4 parts, right? And it's circular, as you can see here in this diagram. Okay, just to jump right in. The first step is admitting that you don't know. Okay, I'm just admitting and just realizing that you don't know. All right. A lot of us, unfortunately, it's like if you don't, you know, some of us are stubborn. Maybe we don't realize we don't know, and maybe you just don't want to admit it. Maybe because you think it makes you look, I don't know, lame or whatever, quote unquote. But not knowing is okay. Again, in the previous video I mentioned, as long as you're willing to learn. That's the first step. Okay. Step number 2 is, well, kind of just I touched on it just now, is be willing to learn. Just once you realize that, you know what, I don't know. I don't know about topic X. Well, then the question is, how do I learn about topic X? Okay, be humble and be willing to learn it. Okay, and finally, do not give up. Once you get started, on like right now, we're going to be talking about this series. I'm going to be helping you all get started with learning how to code. Okay, software development, software engineering. And so, how do you do that? Because it's very hard, right? But how do you do it? And it is possible to do it. And that takes us to the next slide, right? Triangulation. Well, first of all, in the previous slide, I have step 4 is triangulation, but it's not on this slide. For that, we go to the next one. And by triangulation or cross-checking, what do I mean by that, all right? By triangulation or cross-checking, I mean basically if, for instance, learning how to code, you're using Free Code Camp, right? So these are all sites that I'm going to be discussing in the upcoming episodes, teaching you all how to for coding and later on project management. But let's say you're learning how to code and using Free Code Camp. Let's say as well as the Odin. Let's just one of these, either Free Code Camp or the Odin project, right? And then you come across something, a concept that all of a sudden you're stuck, right? You got to realize that, guess what? In addition to whatever it is you're using, Free Code Camp or the Odin project, or let's say you're in school and you're taking a course, this is what I'm going to keep hammering this home for us, right? You got to realize that there's so much resources out there in the web where you can learn whatever it is you're trying to learn for free. And so in the case of coding, right, or actually with many other things, Khan Academy is a very good resource to use, right? Khan Academy is just great. Salman Khan and other tutors on there really do a good job of teaching this stuff, and you really kind of they just delve into the they break it down for us in a way that's very easy to understand, right? And in the context of coding, we also have Code Academy. Now, I do know that I believe Code Academy has like paid tiers, but regardless, you can. A lot of the resources are free. And finally, Coursera. Coursera is another one that you can use, as well as edX. Later on in the relevant episode, I'll be talking about CS50 by David Malin, and that is on edX. All right, and finally, all right, I've like again, I'll just keep talking about this in all the upcoming episodes. One resource that we have that we don't use nowhere nearly enough is Google. Google. Now the thing of it is right. Like the thing is, the best part about all this stuff, they're free, right? Like it's all for free. We don't realize the advantage that we have nowadays, where you don't need to pay. I mean, like software development, for instance, and this is part of the reason I'm helping folks learn software development is because there's a low barrier entry to it. Did I say that correctly? Like at the end of the day, I'm starting to get fatigued. There's there right there there are no like the barriers in terms of like entry barriers are low. Like you can teach yourself how to code, how to be a software engineer for free using online resources. You can do it. It's actually doable. All right, and that's the best part. It's like it's for free. It's just that you got to be willing to do it, okay? And so that's the point I'm hammering home here is triangulation and cross checking. If let's say to use another example, let's see what else can we use in terms of let's say you're learning biology. I mean, it could be anything. Remember, we have Wikipedia, so let's just go online real quick here. All right, and Wikipedia is another good resource. Now, professors it's a mixed kind of over time. Wikipedia has gotten a lot better in terms of just the quality of the articles. Some professors do encourage it. Other professors want you to maybe use it as well as another resource. But just to type in a random topic here, for instance, motor view controller. This is one of the topics for coding that we might touch on later, and you type it in and voila, right? Like so, if you come across the motor view controller concept on like on the Odin project or Free Code Camp, and you're like, what the hell is that? You don't get it? You go to Wikipedia, voila, you look it up, and then they just break it down easily for you. All right. So this episode ends right here, and in the previous episode, I don't think I made it to the end to say thanks for watching, and if you do like these if you're enjoying this episode this videos, please by all means like, share, subscribe. I mean, hey, I never thought I'd be saying that, but here I am saying it. Yeah, but in all seriousness, go ahead and just like it, share it, tell your friends about it. You know, it's my pleasure to do them, but I can do more. I'll do plenty more if I know that folks are enjoying these. If you're benefiting from these, please let me know. Again, like, share, subscribe, etc. And many more will be coming your way. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next episode, which is episode number 4, about coding, about how to, learning how to code. How do you learn to code? In fact, let me just give you a little preview right here. And voila, that's the first slide. after the shoutouts, of course. Right? But this is the first slide. We'll get into that later. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.